Hi. I believe in grace. I believe in the most gracious grace that you can ever think of. I love theology. I love discovering the truths about the person of God and His goodness and His nature. It has been revolutionary to me to discover those things. I even studied a little bit of theology in the last few years, and I loved it. And the understanding of grace and the good God had changed my life in a way nothing has before. But I would like to tell you is that grace is not a teaching. It is not even the best understanding. It is, actually. But grace is way much more a reality. There is a reality of grace that you can experience that is way beyond your best concepts and best understandings and movement and teachings and books and all of that. The knowledge of grace is awesome. It can shift minds. It can change people. It can mean the difference of an unbearable life to an enjoyable life. I know it. I've experienced it. And still I tell you that my knowledge of grace is ridiculous to the grace I experience in a second when I look at God. It is about tasting and seeing that He is good. You can know He's good, you can understand He's good, you can talk about He's good, you can think about that He's good, and these are all good things. But it is incomparable to tasting. And some people say it has to be a balanced thing, like one part for the knowledge, the other part for the experience. I don't believe it should be balanced. People who had terrible theology and image of God have experienced the grace of God in a way most of us have never. Like Teresa of Avila, she writes terrible things and still experience the best things with God. Yeah, I think good theology is really important, but absolutely not important comparing to experiencing it. Experiencing the grace that we are talking about. Many times in gracious circles, we are so happy with our new movement. You believe in grace, I believe in grace, you believe in a good God. Yes, we all believe the same, all those dirty religious people who haven't come to the same realization as we did. And there was a time when Jesus really told me, it's okay that I'm that great now in your eyes. Do you want to be with me? It's so great that you see me that accessible now. But would you like to still hang out with me? There is something about God that is only communicated through sensing and living Him. and tasting Him. And the things God communicates through His being is way deeper and way more important than the things He communicates through thoughts and concepts and movements and theology. So much less important are the things through our mind that it cannot be described. They are not meaningless. The conceptual things, they are only meaningless comparing to experiencing the reality they are talking about. Grace is not a concept, not a teaching, not a movement. It's a person who wants to hang out with you. And if you are happy with a new discovery and a new understanding, and you think this is it, then you miss out on the person of grace. I'm talking to myself, to be honest. This is what I saw in myself at a point. Like, I was so happy learning and discovering, and I'm a thinker, actually. I love analyzing things. I'm an overthinker as well. And God just, at a point, He just reminded me, like, this is what you really want? Like, do you think that is it? And sometimes God just let us get burned out of every stream and understanding and movement and all of the things that can help at a certain point, but they are not it. Nothing is it. Only the undescribable God. And He communicates so much more in a second of just being aware of Him than in years of studies. And I think for me, the little bit of study I've been through was life-changing and essential. So I'm not sorry for spending time with those things, because I needed them, needed the understanding of grace and the goodness of God. But I feel like spending any more time only grasping it conceptually would be a waste of time, because He is here and He is accessible, and He is able to show the reality of what I could talk about, but I no longer want to, because He is here. Yeah. So sometimes among grace people, we are so happy that He found the truth. And we did find the truth, and the very important one. But there is no point of having a truth and not living it. It's not about collecting treasures and show them off at a display window as like, do you taste it? There is no point in a grace that doesn't burn your face off every day. There's no point in a God that doesn't shock you every day. Like, there are so many sideways. And actually, most of the teachings and ideas are sideways comparing to the reality of Him. So let us all taste and see that the Lord is good. Amen.